You would not believe your drives if 10 million advertised light up the streets of Los Angeles. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Biz Boys broadcast. I'm Russ, and by my side, as always, is the mighty Mason. Here on the Biz Boys broadcast, we share our business experience, inform you about business news that's happening in the world right now, and entertain you along the way.
Yes, at least we try. So in this video, Russ, we're going to be talking about a digital advertisement called Firefly. So,
you would not believe your...
Okay, don't give away the joke. But before I do that, the driving economy has been growing for ride-hailing drivers, wouldn't you say, with Uber and Lyft and all that kind of jazz?
Absolutely. I mean, it might be shrinking now,
yes,
but it was growing.
However, the pay isn't certainly that great, unfortunately, for those guys, at least for cities not with minimum wages.
Seem to be going on strike a lot.
Yeah, so Lyft claims its drivers get about $18.83 per hour on work.
Liars!
And Uber claims that in places like Denver, Detroit, Houston, they get about $13.25 an hour. Now, however, a recent study by MIT researchers reported that Uber and Lyft drivers' actual median pre-tax profit was only $3.33 per hour.
What? There's no way.
Well, that's what I want to ask you, Russ. As a long-term Uber driver, really experienced in this industry, what do you think about this?
So for those of you who don't know, I drove for Uber on the weekends for like 2 or 3 months just to try it out.
And after work. You did something.
I did some on the after work because they let you like set a destination and you can drive on the way to your destination. So I usually just, when I left work, I put in my home and I just drove people on the way home. Like I'd make $10 on the way home. So it was like, hey, nice. Anyway, most of the money that I made through there was on the weekends. So like Uber and Lyft have surge pricing, and it's really only profitable. In my perspective, it's really only profitable and worth it if you drive during surge pricing. But you can't make a full-time job out of that because that's only certain times of the week. The around $13 an hour was probably the most accurate. I could make $30 an hour on weekend nights, but that's during surge pricing. And over the course of a week, you could probably make 13.
What do you know? You don't know anything.
3 is ridiculous.
Because Firefly says that is absolutely true, and I believe Firefly more than you, Russ.
Okay.
Firefly is a company that has created digital advertisement. I don't know why I asked the question if I'm going to discount it from you. Firefly creates digital advertisements, like big honking digital, like mounted metal things that you can put on top of your car, and you can get a cool $300 per profit per month because you have that on your car because it's advertising.
Around.
Yeah. So. But let's talk a little bit about Firefly. So Firefly has been able to amass $51.5 million in funding as a combination of the seed and Series A funding rounds, and is currently only debuted in San Francisco and Los Angeles, which is 2 pretty busy cities if you ask me. The good thing is you don't need to invest if you're interested in becoming one of these Fireflyers. You don't have to invest in buying the actual amount. They give it to you for free. You just have to sign a contract for 4 months.
Okay.
Now, the company claims that they have currently right now over 110,000 hours driven with their products. Now, I'm getting into that, Russ. Don't you worry.
The anticipation is
building. I calculated this, bitch. Okay? Now, I want to focus on one specific marketing campaign. Okay. Russ, calm down. Calm down. So, there was a specific marketing campaign called the Coalition for Clean Air. Now, this is really key. They debuted in downtown LA. They received 2.9 million impressions in a 4-week period. Now, I am going to use those numbers to test if the $300 profits actually make sense. So, the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to have to actually use a little bit of digital advertising knowledge.
$300 a month. Is there what they're claiming their drivers can
Yes, and I'm going to see if that makes sense. Now, I first want to say there was a severe lack of numbers that I could find. So I had to do a best estimate range kind of thing. And I could not get a lot of insight into a lot of numbers. So please take this with a grain of salt. Now, I want to first talk about impressions. What is an impression? Impression is literally just somebody looked at your advertisement. That's all it is.
They have to estimate how many times somebody looked at your car driving past.
And they estimated 2.9 million impressions in that one marketing campaign for a 4-week period. So I'm going to use that. Now, the important thing you need to know is 1,000 impressions equal a mile. No advertiser charges for impression. They charge per 1,000 impressions.
Yeah.
Just because the scale makes much more sense. Charging per impression would be like less, tenth of a penny. Doesn't make sense.
Right.
So now, with that in mind, I use the numbers as $300 a month per profit, 4-week period, 2.9 million impressions, and hundreds of drivers. That's all they gave me. So I had to use a range of 200 to 900. With that, I was able to calculate what the CPM, the cost per mile impressions, should be given that a driver makes $300 of profit. So I went backwards.
You lost me, but go on.
No, okay. So if you take the $300 a month of profit and you times it by a number of drivers, you get the profit of the whole fleet, right?
Indeed.
Okay. Now, back that off 10% for taxes.
Okay.
And 10% because it's a fee that Firefly takes off.
Yep.
Which also I estimated, by the way, because they don't tell me.
They wouldn't make any money if they didn't take a fee.
Right.
Yeah.
That is the revenue that they made, and that is what the money they got from the advertisers, the collection of advertisers.
Yep.
Now, if I take that revenue and I divide it by the number of miles or 1,000 impressions, I get what it costs the advertiser per 1,000 impressions. Okay.
Cost the advertiser to pay, which is what they're paying to the people.
Right, and that's the revenue. Okay. So I had to estimate from 200 drivers to 900 drivers.
Okay, give me the answer.
It's this table. This is the table.
Oh, it's a table.
I can't do a specific number because they only gave me hundreds of drivers.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do with that other than if we have 100 to 900, your CPM, meaning it would cost you $12 for 1,000 impressions up to $101 for 1,000 impressions.
Okay.
And this is because the impressions is fixed. So now I base that off of what is a typical CPM. If you're a digital advertiser, what do you charge? A typical CPM is $7 to $15. So the best I can say that is if Firefly has a range of drivers from 10 to 300, I would say that it's pretty likely that they make $300 a month.
Right.
If they have more than 300 drivers, I would say it's very unlikely because the cost of CPM is too high. That I don't think that they actually got $300 a month. Now, all of that was useless because I found on Reddit someone who actually posted their first paycheck.
Okay, good.
So
nice.
All of that math is useless because someone posted on Reddit that their first paycheck in the first 2 weeks was $121. Back off taxes and fees of the Firefly, it's going to eventually be they made $240 a month, which is actually very, very close to the $300. Now, I wanted to end this with some notes that guy had on the Firefly advertisement. Evidently, if you have that big honking metal in your car, all your radio stations don't work. It's all static.
Good.
You can no longer go through normal car washes because they won't allow you with that big honking metal thing there. You have to get all hand washes. You either do it yourself or more expensive companies do it for you. And the gas mileage plummets for certain cars that are a very low weight because this thing weighs a lot. So that's essentially what I have to present. They made the money. Firefly actually did, I think, meet its claim of $300 a month. Now, whether that's a reliable thing and whether it's something you should bet on, don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, you can just like Uber, you can start out really easily making money, and it's kind of your own business. You have to own your car, and you. I don't know if they supply the big. Do they supply the big metal thing?
Yes,
you have to buy it from them. Okay, but you can set it up, and it's kind of like your own kind of business, making money with the advertisements. But the bigger thing fitting into a lot of the other businesses we've gone over in other videos is the platform model, where if you're building a business to be able to scale quickly, you don't want to have to hire drivers. You don't have to hire people to create your content. You make a platform where anybody can join and start making money quickly. That's what Firefly's done here. So if you have any sort of business idea, try to think in your head, can I make this a platform? It'll make you able to be able to scale much more quickly.
Yes, but that's all I had to present. I thought it was an interesting math calculation. I always like to test the profitability of some business models. I really think that that's where you can find some key insights.
Are you a math major?
No, I actually don't know how to do math.
Oh. Maybe you shouldn't trust the math that was.
You really shouldn't. If you've seen the solar power video, I had to change all of it because I was wrong. So probably wrong here too. But I like to test the margins, and I think you should do as well at home. So anyway, that's all I have to present. Thank you for watching. That was great.
Thanks for bringing all that up.
Well, thank you, Russ. You patient asshole. Please comment, like, and subscribe to these videos. We really appreciate it. If you can give us any news articles that you want us to comment on or look at, please feel free to do so. We would love to do it.
And seriously, the more engagement we get from you guys, the more we can grow. So please comment, like, or subscribe.
But anyway, thank you. Have a lovely day. Hey, that was good. That was great, yeah. Oh man, pop singers are our future.